Oh man, yeah, man, fucking yeah, fucking yeah. I was just watching somebody stream, and even though I do it, I mean, a lot of other streamers do it. It's like, and it's kind of like, bro, your hair does look like it's fucking got like some nasty oils in it. And now my hair doesn't look great either. Okay, I admit that shit. Okay, guys. All right. I look horrible myself, but you know what? This guy on this live stream, his hair was so fucking oily that I was like, that's dirty oil. That's not normal fucking oil. That's like straight up dirty oil. That's like somebody hasn't washed his hair in 3 days. And he's doing like, I mean, my hair is not that oily, but his fucking hair was so oily looking. It's like, there's no way you're going to tell me that fucking was washed today. And then, it's just like, I don't know, man. He's narrating somebody's live stream like that. And why do I have the jacket on? Because tomorrow they're shutting our electricity off. And I want to make sure I stay nice and cozy. And plus, when you get my age, 56, you start to lose the smaller vascular systems on a lot of areas of your muscle tissues. And especially the exterior ones affect you more and make you colder. So as a result of that, I have to actually start working out again, even though I have back problems, just to re-stimulate vascular systems that are in the process of trying to die off from age. And, when I do take a break from working out, because a lot of times it's complications with back pain and shit, but most of the time it's just because I don't want to. And plus, back pain will also go away if you build muscles up. A lot of times you'll also stimulate the nerves away from the part that was creating the bulging discs. You just don't get it, but you can't push the weight too much. That is the trick. So my hair is a little bit oily, but it's not like that motherfucker I just saw. I mean, it does look kind of oily right now, but it's not like fucking 3-day oily looking. I'm not even gonna say what channel that was on, but I was like, God damn. And this dude is reading he's doing all the narration for the guy because he's blind. I will say that much. And I'm like, God, man, at least fucking have your hair clean, dude. I don't get it. I mean, mine didn't clean, but it was washed fucking, last night I washed it. So I don't really care that my hair is a little oily, but this cat's fucking hair was so oily. I was like, and the presentation for his friend that he was narrating for, I mean, his hair is way too fucking oily. All right, so this is what I'm about to take. Yeah, my fucking volumes. Because you know what? Usually if I do something, I don't know, I just feel like barbituing out, and I'm gonna make sure I take a heavy dose of these, and I suck them down. And yeah, I do drugs recreationally, and fucking I don't care. I don't fuck with hard, stupid fucking drugs that'll fuck your life up. Even alcohol, I know my limit on alcohol, and doesn't make me special. I just don't have this fucking internal desire to fucking be drunk or buzzed on alcohol. Does that make sense? I don't have that desire. I don't know why people, I guess, okay, in the case of my friend down the street, his dad died unexpectedly, and he was already an alcoholic. God, he was already an alcoholic, okay? He was already an alcoholic, and what happened? It just made it worse when his dad died unexpectedly, is what happened. Now he's in that vicious cycle, but he doesn't care. He's suicidal. I mean, a lot of these alcoholics, they're suicidal at that point. They're so addicted to the alcohol and the depression, the deep embedded depression they get from an unexpected young death of a father has affected him permanently. So he's guaranteed probably going to die of alcohol. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can't get somebody like that off alcohol. And me personally, I just fluctuate. Once in a while I'll do a little blow, once in a while I'll do a little sedative, once in a while I'll do a little this, once in a while I'll do a little that. And kratom, I love kratom. And it's a good thing to use kratom in between. I just picked 12 kratom off the 15, 16 of them off my floor that I had dropped a while back, and I just forgot to pick them up, or I don't know, I was in a hurry. But they've been sitting there for a month, and guess what I did? Picked every one of them, took them. You know why? Because I'm not a fucking germaphobe. That's why. You know, I'm not fucking germaphobe. That's why. I ain't fucking afraid of shit. My God, cast iron goddamn stomach nowadays. When I was younger, I had somebody had poisoned me or something and fucked my stomach up. And those symptoms didn't go away, and I have scar tissue down, not in my stomach, but right outside my stomach in the lower intestines. And even the doctors were like, what the hell happened down there? And I said, what do you mean? Well, I don't know. You tell me. He said, well, you got a shitload of scar tissue down there. I said, well, I don't know. I know that I had an ulcer from the age of 8 to fucking 13. And he was like, holy shit. Anyway, be careful, because that shit can metastasize into cancer over time, because it doesn't have the same protection as it did when it was normal. So he said you could potentially, get tumors and stuff in there. So you have to, and then I asked another doctor, and he said, I don't know what that guy's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about or something. I'm like, what? Conflict between two doctors' opinion. But anyway, that's the case. You get if you get scar tissue in places like that, I don't know if it's guaranteed true, but it'll encourage a cancer development if something does happen to you. It'll pick the weakest areas, the areas where there's damage already, and that's where the cancer a lot of times will start, I guess, is where this point was. But I had this jacket on because I'm trying to get nice and warm and cozy. And this is so I can punch somebody with my left hand, because I did some damage to it from skateboarding, and it's just more arthritic now, but I still want the extra, power in my left hand when I have to punch somebody. But it's a brace. But yeah. Anyway, I thought, when I took my hat off a second ago, I said, God damn, my hair is oily. But it's not that old looking. I mean, it's fucking last night I fucking washed it. That's good enough. This guy's hair, it looked like it was 3 days dirty, oily. And he's doing the guy's video, and, it seems like he's appropriate. Of course, he's one of those, I'm drug-free now type people. And it's like, hey, it's not that big of a deal whether you do them or not. It's how you control yourself on them that matters. Doesn't matter, if you feel that you have to take the shit like 24/7, that's a fucking major issue. That is a drug problem, but that just makes people like that, they're powerless. I mean, I can fucking smoke rock cocaine for a week somewhere out in the boonies just because I feel like it. It's not going to bother me, and I'll stop. And I won't even have an issue to Jones for it again. That's luck. That's luck of the draw with my genetics. I don't have that. I like to fuck with shit on and off through life, do whatever I fucking want. And I'm a secular thinker, and a warlock sometimes likes to take drugs. He has a lot of stress. As a warlock, I have a lot of stress, more than a human. So I fuck with a few drugs. This one's just sedatives. Need sedatives. Fucking goddamn sedative! No, I'm just kidding. And I love to curl up in a ball and sleep on them too, because I don't sleep well. And it's not because I'm on something. It's because my whole life it's been like that. I mean, I could, I couldn't sleep if I wanted to when I was younger. It was the worst insomnia back then. I couldn't fucking hardly sleep. I mean, I was like, Jesus Christ, when am I going to sleep? I was always anticipating. Yeah, it was more of a severe, back then. But as I got older, I learned how to figure out how to at least sleep more continuously. And I'll be honest, sometimes the best way to do that is to do on and off shit. Like, hey, man, 1 week, maybe decide to do some mushrooms. Next month, try to do a little bit of this. Next month, try a little bit of that. And what happens is my body the mechanics of it change. And then all of a sudden I can go to bed and I don't even need any drugs to sleep or anything. I'll just fucking crash like a normal person. But, but most people don't do stuff like that. They just want to use their one drug of choice. They stick with it. They got a major problem with it. They don't know how to get off it. That's not me. I've never fucking been like that. I always had a, I never had a need that was so strong, that was like, if I don't get this shit, I'll fucking kill myself type of thing. No, that's crazy. I've never felt anything like that. When I see heroin junkies, I fucking can't understand, because I tried it a couple times, heroin, I tried it, heroin, and I tried it a couple times, and the fucking right away I knew, I could tell there's delusional thinking going on with me. I even knew. I was like, I don't got my shit straight. I better just go home and try to just sit this shit out in a semi-awake kind of situation, because not sure I trust it, and then I had some left, and for the third time I was going to use it, I just did it through my nose, and because I ain't going to shoot nothing like that up, and that guy, he was a junkie, and he ran over and he was like, thanks, thanks, thanks. And then the next time I dealt with him, he fucking made a petrol piece of crack rock for me, made from petrol or some shit. I was like, whatever, man. I took it and I said, don't come back ever. Your fucking way of getting back, for me being friendly kind of sucks dick. Go fuck yourself. And then he wanted to fucking fight me. I was like, dude, I'll stab your ass. I'll fucking stab your ass, you little bitch. And, because he was smaller than me and he had a lot of guts to say anything like that. But, when you're talking to a heroin junkie, they're willy-nilly anyway. They're already suicidal. They don't really care. They could be dangerous. They could fucking be really dangerous. That's why, you talk to those people. Just the opposite is what they expect. You might buckle a little if they act like that. No, I don't buckle for nobody. And I don't kiss ass, and I don't like YouTube, but I'm on it. What does that mean? It means I don't fucking care if they, personally, if they take me down or not, because they're willy-nilly anyway. They're going to take you down whether you like it or not anyway. Whatever, for whatever fucking reason. They don't have to explain it, and then you can just show up and complain all you want. Luckily, some YouTubers, if you give them the promo, when their channel gets shut down, maybe it'll return, which Jeremiah Phillips' channel did. But and now I changed the name of my video that got over 6K views from they canceled his channel to now I say, oh, they have reinstated his channel, because I don't want that the wrong description of it. Since they have reinstated his channel, I changed the name of it out of respect, because I'm not going to sit there and still have a video that says that he's canceled when he's not. So fucking, I had to change the name to the video, but I kept it up because he got fucking 6+ K views, man. Why wouldn't I? Of course. I mean, that just drew in a lot of attention. Not that a lot of the people that watch him have any interest in my bullshit, but hey, if I ever do decide to do skits and try to be funny, I think I could pull it off. Pretty much like, just a white version of Jeremiah Phillips. I could figure some shit out to make shit funny. These days, anyway, I could, because my mind is altered into a new state. My perspectives are wholly different than they were 2, 3 years, 10 years ago. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. I even did some comedy practice of my own at one point, and I thought that, wow, I could really refine this shit and make it funny. But I was only about into my own training of comedy, maybe a month or two into it, and I said, you know what? This is going to take up to a year to get right. And somebody demanded I'd send it to them early, the videos I was doing, just to test market my shit to myself to see if it looks good. And he fucking went ahead and published it. It pissed me off because this shit it was green. It was way green. Comedy. Super fucking green. And I told him, look, dude, I'm working on refining this shit. Why should I send it to you early to publish it? And he just, and of course he said stupid shit on the description of it, just because, he has an asshole streak in him, which I had to clarify, hey, bro, what you did was wrong. And now, we're still friends, but you are a dickhead for doing that. And, and he tried to act denial like he didn't know what I was talking about and shit. Anyway, the point is this: people are very, and even though I'm friends with people that are potential murderers, and, I'm just not going to mention anything in particular, guaranteed, but I would just say I know some people that fucking, more likely kill people, and yet I don't hate them. because I'm not a religious person. I just look at it like, your mistakes are your mistakes, my mistakes are my mistake. If you want to call it a mistake, that is, maybe you think you were righteous. Most of the time, the people that do shit like that, they're either greedy or they have, most times it's just about greed. Most time it's just about greed. Maybe it has to do with their drug money. Maybe it has to do with they robbed drug dealers, and instead of fixing that issue, they went ahead and killed somebody who knows, maybe had information on somebody else, and it's just, I don't want to get into a lifestyle like that where I just feel like I could just kill somebody because it's going to benefit me from being a crude drug rip-off motherfucker. I never ripped off drugs. I never did. I know people that probably did because they were junkies, and they, their parents probably tried to kick them out 100 times and they still refused to leave, type of people. I've known those kinds of people in life. They exist. They, somehow or another, they don't even know how to be homeless unless there's a con their way into fucking somebody's house for free, practically. Even if they have a rich background and they don't got any money though from it because they've proven nothing other than they like to use a lot of fucking shit, all the time. And no parent is going to trust you if you fucking are a junkie. So obviously, and you're not, if you do get equity, it'll be in the form of maybe the house, but they don't want to fucking just hand you over money. So for your drug habit, so I used to, I ain't gonna lie, I fucking smoke rock cocaine. I'll fucking do powder occasionally. I'll do whatever the fuck I fucking want because I'm not going to be dictated with a mask and shit like that. I'll do what the fuck I want any fucking time I want it. And, I don't give a fuck about the system. I'll be honest with you. If you keep separating and social distancing, the next thing you know, it'll be easier for the National Guard when they show up. So you're just a fucking sheep at that point. Let yourself continue to be a sheep. If you don't stand up for yourself in some way, shape, or form, you're going to go down anyway. So, and if you think that you're doing a righteous job for, somebody else, let's see. Maybe you should fucking have, a little better of an appearance. Especially if you say I don't do drugs anymore, but your hair looks like 4 days greasy. I mean, mine's greasy, but it's not 4 days greasy. That shit looked like 4 days greasy. That dude's hair looked like he was still doing drugs. It's obvious, man, to me, if you got hair that dirty, you don't care about your personal appearance. You don't fucking give a shit about your personal appearance, especially if you're narrating for somebody else's channel who's blind. But I use occasional drugs. I don't give a fuck. I even got this shit for fucking dry eyes when I fucking do a little too much powder or something, And, the sooner that people admit they fucking recreationally use and aren't addicted, we should start if there's any community organization, it'd be with people like that. Like if you found out somebody was doing meth, you'd annex them. If you found out they were just doing powder cocaine, you would not annex them. And you just get together and you recreationally use and you say, fuck everyone who thinks I'm wrong and they suck my dick. Once you start doing the same thing over and over and over, too much, and you don't take a week or two off, completely detoxify, then you are a fucked up addict. You don't know how to do drugs. You don't know how to recreationally take them. You don't know how to control yourself on them. And that's it. That's it. You suck at it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You suck at it. Anyway, I got this shit. I like this shit right here. But I haven't tried this one, but I used to get the raw, and fucking the FDA fucking disapproved raw cheese when I was in Nevada. I forgot what kind it was, but it was like raw mozzarella. And I was jonesing for it, and they quit producing it because the FDA had some kind of issue with it because it's raw. So I don't even know what, I don't know. I don't get it. Why do they do that shit? I'm trying to find my fucking phone so I can look up what. What's the big deal with fucking stuff like that? I mean, why do they always make a big deal of shit like that? I can understand if there's bean sprouts, there's shit on the bean sprouts, but they discontinued the raw cheese in Nevada at the time for fuck. I have no idea why. Main reason why raw cheese can be taken off. Oh, fuck you. The fuck is this shit? Main reason why raw cheese is taken off the shelves. Oh well. I did something to my phone and I got this goddamn Russian shit, and I'm trying to figure out how did I accidentally I was trying to get it to so I could start learning Russian, and now I can't figure out how to get it off that. So I don't know what the fuck. It prints English, it hears me in English, and then it just has Russian. I don't get it. It's fucking weird. I don't really care at this point. As long as I can do most of my searches, I don't really care. Okay, raw milk has been pasteurized. It's not sterile, but is full of microorganisms prized by cheesemakers for their ability to transform into flavor and aroma compounds. It carries inherent risk, but once raw milk is transformed into cheese, the risk factor goes down. So that's why raw cheese is sometimes taken off shelves because I don't know, lawmakers think, oh, there's just a little too much risk involved in eating it. Well, I just ate fucking a bunch of my goddamn kratom pills that were on the floor. I am so not worried about it. The same way I'm not worried about fucking coronavirus and shit. You know, it's like I said, guys, this is a law enforcement tactic to keep people at bay, at distance, so that when they do have to try to control crowds and people are too close together, they can shoot more canisters of whatever right at them with not even a fucking second of delay, because guess what, you're not supposed to be that close to that other person. You know what I mean? So it just give them more right to shoot at you with salt guns, with fucking pepper spray canisters, hopefully hit you in the face like they do all the time in Brazil, where they purposely aim at people with the canister in their face and stuff. It's just and pretty much I think it was just released so they could, a bunch of shitload of people could make more money off suckers that like inoculations because they're afraid they might get sick. No, you're just suckers. It's that simple. You're just suckers. You know, if you have worries about your health, maybe go do it. But in the meantime, no. The more inoculations you get, you got to realize what you're doing is you're transforming your immune system's responses, because normally your immune system would be able to take care of, manage a lot of this shit. But because you're taking inoculations, what you're doing is you're suppressing that potential protection mechanism. And the more inoculations you get, the more suppressions you get, the more you're confusing your immune system, and then it eventually will not work. That's how it works. If you don't believe me, just trust me. Continue to get inoculations. You'll get sicker and die quicker in the future. The more inoculations you get, and plus you don't know exactly what kind of micro nanotechnology they are developed. They used to just have mercury and shit in the goddamn things, and lead. I think even inoculations nowadays, they probably got nanotechnology in there. AI shit that's basically it's how they install shit with your permission. Oh, just inoculation, get rid of COVID. In the meantime, now you're a fucking robot, bitch. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Okay. You know, I mean, that's what I feel anyway. In the meantime, you're a fucking robot. You know, because we can just look you up and see exactly where you are, what you're doing, how many times a day you jack off, how many times you excrete gas, how many times you fucking, you know, shit yourself while you're walking down the street. Uh, you know, I mean, let's see, how many times you complain, how many times you complain about the government, the industrial military complex, how many times you do this, how many times you do it. It's an AI system, guys. If you don't believe me, just wait. As soon as you fucking start doing more inoculations in the future, they're all going to have the fucking shit in them that is basically nanotechnology, and it's going to be covert, and it's not going to be really brought out in the open, because anyone that does, any scientist that dares say a fucking thing about it, they will be killed. They will be killed. Anyway, so. You know, because you know, quite honestly, I like to see fucking Microsoft, Bill Gates. You know, I wish his entire bowels would just explode out his asshole right now. That's my wish, because that's the guy that's probably behind the entire fucking thing to make money. But you know, initially I wasn't sure who the players were. I had to let my intuition play along for a while so I could gain a feel. It's not just about the inoculations, but it's also about the control mechanisms within law enforcement to keep people at a distance. And in the future, you won't be able to approach a cop. I said this in my last stream. You won't even be able to approach a cop, you know, because they'll have new rules. You know, you'll have to fucking like, they'll probably have, I don't know, maybe they'll have walkie-talkies. Everybody has to have walkie-talkie now so they can fucking talk to the cop from fucking 100 feet away. Oh, the guy's dying right now, dude. I'm telling you, right now, the dude's dying, okay? We need an ambulance, right? But, well, why didn't you call the ambulance? Because you're a cop right down the street. You could call, you know, at least come here and see if you can help. And then and then I was going to call the ambulance, bitch. You know, I don't know. It's a control mechanism thing to keep civilians at bay from law enforcement of every kind, including National Guard, military, police, security guards. Hey, you approach a government building now, hey, stand 10 feet back. You hear through an intercom out the door. That means you got to stand 10 feet back before they even open the door. Very impersonal. It's guaranteed to control mass crowds, people that are potential, you know, resource raiders and fucking, you know, those kinds of folks. But nonetheless, also just a mechanism to, you know, control people's actions. And of course, if they're using technology where they can't have people close together, and I'm talking about really high stuff, high tech stuff, some of their technology, they put the inoculation in a certain individual might affect the technology if like another individual is too close. They won't be able to fucking get the data. That's another reason they need you to stay apart 10 feet or 10 feet so they can fucking do their shit, their calculations on your biomechanics and what's going on and you know, what are you doing and how are you doing it, and that's what I think. So anyway, the stream's over.